What's up, everyone?
What's happening, everybody?
We hope y'all are having a wonderful Sunday thus far.
I hope you are, because I know I sure am. Great gameplay.
So real quick, we want to recap what it is that Driven Duos means, what it is.
Where it came from, what's behind it.
Because we made a video about a year ago when we first received the word of Driven Duos being the name of a Bible study, which is now an LLC, and more things to come.
And it's still a Bible study when you think about it, you know, like, because we're not Bible thumpers, like we know the book left and right, front to back, but we're learning, you know what I mean, as we go, trying to be the best disciples that we can be. Yeah.
But we just thought, since it's been a year and we've got, you know, some new people, that it would be beneficial just to kind of explain it really briefly.
Yeah.
So the definition, and by the way, God gave us this back in Florida when we were on vacation, the word Driven Duos. But we started looking into it when we received the word.
Yeah.
And driven means to be controlled by a person or source of power. And then second means relentlessly compelled to accomplish a goal. So the goal is, right, to allow yourself to be driven, to be controlled by the Spirit.
Yeah.
When you hear that inner voice, when you hear that inner guide telling you what to do, what not to do, to listen to it.
That little feeling that you get when we always talk about it. You know what? My stomach told me not to go. Well, that ain't your stomach. That's your inner voice. That's that spirit telling you, okay, don't do this.
Right.
But us being human beings that we are, we do it anyways, just because we're human. You know what I mean? And we're gonna sin. You know.
And listening to it more, obviously, really strengthens that relationship.
Absolutely.
And so being so relentlessly compelled, driven, to allow yourself to be driven and controlled by that spirit. It's the goal, right? And so that's what driven means. And once your first duo, which is internal, it's you and the Spirit, that's the first duo.
Yeah.
And once that's strengthened, and you are so relentlessly compelled to accomplish that goal of allowing the Spirit to guide you, then other duos, relationships, spouses, you know, parents, friends, siblings, all the things are going to be more in alignment.
Absolutely.
And it all starts within. So the first duo is within yourself and the Spirit, and all other duos can flourish in a... We get pumped when we start talking about
Don't do it. Don't do it.
So we just wanted to recap on that really quick.
Yep.
And then we had an amazing 24 hours plus with no service. Visiting my mom, and it was just a wonderful cut off.
It's release.
There's our word for the year.
Wow. Huh?
Look at that.
But that, I mean, that's really what it was. It was release, you know. And people look at it, well, you got to fish. Well, yeah, I got to fish, but we got to do it as a family. Meaning, we intertwined with each other, free-spirited, no connectivity to the world. You know what I mean? We just got that time to just grow,
bond, flourish, be grounded,
and be driven. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, Pastor did say driven about 5 or 6 times in the sermon this morning. So
it's hot right now.
That's one reason I was like, I gotta go ahead and announce this. We've got to mention driven. But so part of our trip in this video, we can talk about the trip, and I think as time goes on, more and more things that we'll be able to relate to that trip. But today the word is go, because as Roy was fishing and I had built a fire, I left it. I mean, I worked.
I would say out of that
24,
out of that 24 hours, you probably got. Sorry for the pause, y'all. But you probably got about 15 hours of fire time.
Of just fire time.
Just fire time.
I mean, gathering wood to me and being, the kids helped me for a little bit, and then the times that they weren't, that I'm working and gathering my own wood, and the zen that brings me as I'm looking for wood, and as I'm walking and talking and feeling just the beautiful moment that we were all in. That work like brings me harmony. And then, feeding the fire, and then I would sit down for just a few minutes to enjoy it, and then I was like, oh, I gotta feed it again, and now I gotta go get more wood. So it was just like the cycle of just what brings me zen, like fishing does. But as I took a break, I laid down on a rock and I was meditating. I was doing my devotion time and just praying, and I was laying on my back, and when I looked up, no joke, it was as crystal clear. The clouds formed the perfect G, and then it was coming behind a tree, like tree limbs, right? Because it was so, And then right beside the G came a perfectly round O. And I was like, okay, God, you're just going to go ahead and put a D right there, right? And that was it. It said go. And it floated until like it just got right above me, and it was so perfectly clear, the word go. And then it was thin clouds, and it just vanished in thin air. And so I'm still doing a lot of praying of what go means. But what I did do this morning, and what we've discussed all morning, is what does that mean after just our time in it?
Oh, it means everything. You know what I mean? When you break it down, it means everything. You know what I mean? And just to relate it to football, right? When you say go, what happens?
You snap.
Okay, until somebody says go, what happens?
You pause.
It's stagnant. So when you put that in life form and what you're doing with your life, when you get to go, go. Don't think about it. Don't second guess. Go. Because when you second guess, you sitting there not gaining nothing. You collecting thoughts, but you ain't gaining nothing. But when it's time to go, go.
You ain't even able to make a mistake to gain the knowledge from it.
Ain't no half-stepping. Ain't no half-stepping.
That's good.
Just to relate it, to put it in the football term.
That's
you come
good.
off half-stepping, you're going to end up on your B-U-T-D. Yeah.
Don't let the old train come out. Train 34.
That guy, he was a jerk. I'm just kidding.
So we did a little research, just some pointers of where Jesus told us to go.
Many instances.
And one of the first places was in Matthew when he said, "Go and be reconciled." And if you have bad blood between your siblings, and that's what was going on in this passage, to first go and be reconciled before you even offer something at the altar. Right now, with everything in the world, can you go? Can you let your guard down, whatever the wrongdoings, and just go and be reconciled? Which means live in harmony.
It's
live in unity.
To relate it to football again, when you want to be a great team, when you see a great team, that connecting bond and harmony, that reconciliation that you go through of being with each other, learning each other. Okay, you like this, but I like this, but at the end of the day, we teammates, so some way we got to make it work. You going that route, you know what I'm saying? That team builds a chemistry to trust each other no matter what thick and thin. And that's what we need most in the world that we live in today, is more bonding together rather than division. Saying that, oh, well, this is how it is. Like, bro,
somebody's got to drop their, somebody's got to be big enough to drop the guard down. Because, in the passage, they were all able to flourish because of that reconciliation versus a story where that was not present and it wasn't a flourishing between Abel and Cain. So, we are just encouraging you to reconcile with whoever it is in your heart. You know who that is. And if it's you that needs to let drop the guard down, which is, probably a little bit more problematic internally than it is to be the wrongdoing and wanting that reconciliation versus can you be the one to be the bigger person to drop the guard. But we've done it, and it's a beautiful thing. So that's the first go. Second go is
No,
Matthew
Samaritan.
also.
Samaritan, right?
No, the second was Matthew, go and make disciples. And it's easier, right, to talk about our faith or to have conversations with other people who are like-minded, or in church or do a mission trip or whatever, right? It's a whole nother thing when you move like we did and we have strangers saying, what brought you to Charlotte?
Yeah.
And we were like, well, can you sit down? Because it was a leap of faith and we can break it down, right?
And you kind of got the sideways look like, huh?
Yeah.
You did what?
Yeah. It's easier to do it with like-minded, but can you be bold enough and have a conversation? Because as we do these videos, we feel so aligned.
Yes.
And thank you for those who've sent messages. We don't need the messages to continue, but we love reading and feeling and praying for you. But at the same time, we also get messages because, there's people that don't have our viewpoints. And we're not here to agree with you or not. This is our life. This is our story. This is our real experiences. And we just want to open that door for others to experience. And this is, God through us. This is things that He's done through us, with us. And, we're not here to argue or respond to those messages. We're just here to keep it real. And we're going to keep it real. So that second one is go and make disciples. It's easier to do it when you're in a position of like-minded people, but we're encouraging you to be bold, to state your story, to state your experiences.
Yes. Do it in that place that you look at and you get the jeepies. When you think about it, that's what we're here for. To go into that place to where, I ain't supposed to be around there. You ain't supposed to be around there, but put yourself in harm's way to do God's work. You know what I'm saying? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? The bus stop. We walked by. People in front of us crossed the street, came back across the street because it looked a little rough right there next to the bus stop. What'd I do?
We just kept
walking. By them. How y'all doing? Show respect. Speak to them. Make them feel like humans. Once you do that, the stone is rolled already. It's already rolled. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not hard. Just when you walk by somebody, speak rather than what you heard from something and going to that mode like come on.
And that's perfect lead into the third go. Which is in Mark, where they showed a Samaritan. He was robbed. He was beaten half to death, it says. And a priest and other Samaritans passed by. And it wasn't until someone, helped him. And Jesus said, which one is the neighbor to the man who was robbed? And the reply was the one who showed mercy. And Jesus says, go and do likewise. And we have to show mercy. We have to be neighborly love to one another. We have got to be more unified. And that, just like the bus stop, because of what it seemed and felt like, more fear was placed in that than faith into God to spread the light as you walk down that street.
And it's a misconception we got in life today too.
Right. And if your census is off, okay, I'm not saying that. We can all be in a sense of, okay, I fear, you have fear. But in the moment that Roy and I mean, it was a beautiful day and hundreds of people out. Be a neighborly person and show mercy.
You have to because that's what a misconstruedness is. You're soft if you show mercy. It's hard to show mercy, not soft. You get where I'm going? Hard is something tedious. It takes effort to do. Where it's softness, you go the easy route. It's soft. It's easy. You see what that misconstruedness is? No, it ain't soft to have mercy. It's hard to have mercy.
It's hard to show vulnerability, to be sweet.
Because in the human aspect,
you gotta be hard.
It's mixed up. Y'all, just we gotta love one another and go. We have to love one another and go.
And the last go, we were reading in John. the woman, who committed adultery, and Jesus was like, let anyone who's never sinned before cast the first stone. Of course, no one cast a stone because none of us.
We've all sinned.
Right.
So do not pass judgment on what you do not know. Don't. I mean, that's
because not one sins over the other.
Exactly.
Your thought,
Exactly.
just this morning.
We all sin.
Yeah. And so Jesus told the woman, go and leave your lifestyle of sin. And we all sin every day. The difference is when you're making habitual sins, right? You continue to do the same thing, knowing good and well it's wrong. Because no matter what, we are in a sinful world. We are sinners. We are every single day you're going to think something. But when you are in a habit and in a pattern, in a thought process, it's built and you continue to do it. That's where you've got to learn how to work on yourself. Those quiet times by yourself to call your own BS out, honestly. And say, I've known for a long time, and let's just go ahead and leave this lifestyle.
Nip it in the bud.
Right.
Just shout out to Pop. You know what I'm talking about? For real.
That's our 4 goes.
Hey!
And a little bit about,
What we need to start doing from here on out. Just go, Just go.
Peace, love, prayers,
and have grease.
and be driven.
Hey.